Only looking forward.
Nydia, so good to have you on. How did you get your start in music or your interest in music?
Mm, I guess, I mean, I feel like I've always been interested in music. Um, it's just always been a part of my life. It's a part of my culture, how I grew up. I just grew up always listening to music, but how I got my start in actually playing music, I guess through just like friends encouraging me to play. Um, I've only been playing for a little bit. I started playing just a few years ago, like when I did my first live show. I don't know if that's what you were asking, but that's like kind of when I started really getting more serious about music. But as far as like playing instruments, I guess that started a little while back.
Good deal.
Yeah.
Were you always surrounded by people who were playing music, like your friends and whatnot?
Yeah, I mean, I think later in that came later in life. I I had I feel like I grew up in a smaller community. Um and there wasn't much music, but then like later in life I met some people that were musicians and I think like in my early 20s that's when I was getting together with those friends and like playing music and having like jam sessions or we'd do this thing called song church. We'd get together every I think it was on Sundays. um
The
and we
correct
would
day to
just
do it. Yeah.
yeah. We would get together and just like everyone would bring um like they would print out like their favorite song with like all the chords and lyrics and we would all just like play one song at a time, everyone's song. So that was really fun.
What was kind of grabbing your attention when you were doing this song church?
I just felt like it was just a fun way to get together with friends. Like a lot of friends play music. And it was just a fun way to just like get together and enjoy each other's company and just have fun, not have any pressure of like, who's playing like there's no pressure of like anyone having to play like an original song. It was just everyone was playing the same song. Everyone knew the lyrics and the chords. And even if you were not that great, like there's a lot of friends that don't play instruments and they would just like join in on singing or they join in with like, a tambourine or whatever. There was like no pressure, but it was still a fun way to like play music and um be music, I don't know, be creative in that way.
You still have that same feeling towards music of not being stressed out about it?
Uh, yes and no. I mean, yeah, I think my goal is always just to like try to have fun with it and yeah, just try not to put too much pressure on myself, I
Right.
guess. Yeah.
You can't force anything. It's bad if you do.
Yeah,
Right.
totally. Yeah, because then it's just like, I don't know, to me it's a little inauthentic, It's just like not from the heart.
How do you keep things authentic?
How do I keep things authentic?
I know
Yeah,
it's a
I guess
hard hitting questions early on in this.
yeah, yeah, I guess it's sometimes it is hard to tap back into that, just like, zero pressure. Um, I think, yeah, just like with writing, I guess it's not like that hard. I guess it's not like impossible, but yeah, sometimes it is a struggle to like tap back into that and be like, oh, okay, like this is why I'm doing it.
Right.
I'm doing music, yeah.
Right. When did you start to kind of branch out from the song church and start getting into your own music?
Um, I think it was like really, really shortly after. I started write I've always like written music. Um, but I just started writing, I don't know, better songs in my mind. They were actually like fun to sing, and they were coming from like a better place. Um, and yeah, I just had like a few songs, and my friend Zeb, who actually ended up producing my album that is out now later, but he was kind of the one who guided me in that direction of like actually getting on stage and performing these songs for people. He was definitely uh like a guide in a way.
Right?
Um
An influence.
and it, yeah,
Yeah.
totally an influence. He's been a musician for his whole life, so he knows that world very well. But yeah, I've just always had like the worst stage fright, and um he finally convinced me to play a show at his family's restaurant in like near Morro Bay where I grew up. And yeah, I did it, and I was like, wow, like this is what I want to do, keep doing.
Did you always feel confident in what you were writing, but not so much as performing it, or always it was always an issue to get past that?
I think it definitely just changed. There was just like a switch, I think, that went off like later in life, and I was able to kind of write a little bit more seriously. I think just like what I was writing in the past, you know, like in high school or elementary school, it was just like silly little songs that didn't really make any sense. Um, and then I think once I got older, I was able to just kind of write more seriously and take it a little bit more seriously. And also, um, I was able to kind of, I don't know, I feel like, yeah, I was just able to like gauge like where I wanted to go with songwriting a little better.
Clear path.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
You were starting this in Morro Bay kind of area. That's where you're from.
Yeah, just a small town north of LA. Yeah, a lot of people don't know where Morro Bay is, but it's in like San Luis Obispo County area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go slow. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And how old are you when you did this first gig at this restaurant?
I think I was 20, like mid 20s for sure. 25. I think it was like 25, 26, around that age.
Gonna verify the age on that.
Yeah. Yeah.
How did you feel during that performance? Do you remember
My
your
gosh.
mindset or your where you were at?
I was so nervous. Yeah, I was so nervous, but also I felt so supported by the community there. So it's definitely nerve-wracking, but I knew that I was seriously just performing to all of my friends. And I just had to keep that in mind. But still, even with that, the nerves get, you know, they still get to you, even if and some people, like my boyfriend, he says it's more terrifying. He's also a musician. It's more terrifying playing to family and friends. I feel like he thinks there's more pressure. Um, and I feel like, yeah, there's definitely some truth in that. I
Yeah.
definitely get
Strangers you're more
nervous.
comfortable with. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, I feel like every time I've performed since then, it's definitely gotten easier, but I was definitely terrified at that point.
And were these mostly covers that you were doing, or all originals?
They were all originals. Yeah,
Okay.
it was 5 songs. I played 5 songs. Some of them are in my latest album, or like my album I just released. Some of them are just like I've just scratched, and I don't think I'll ever play them again.
When you wrote these songs, there are the songs that survived, let's say.
Yeah,
That survived. Did you feel like, okay, there is something here with it with this, right? Like, I'm definitely gonna keep on with these.
definitely. Yeah, definitely. I just they were just I felt really confident about them, and I just felt like they were speaking my truth, and they're coming from the heart, and yeah, I was feeling good about them. I mean, yeah, there's no point if you're not stoked on what you're singing. I mean, yeah, but then they got old, and then I
You
scratched them.
you gotta say stoked. That's yeah. That's a key.
Yeah. But they're still like a part of me, and they still, live inside my brain, and you know, maybe I don't know, maybe one day I'll play them again, who knows. But for now, yeah, just on to the next.
Is it was it hard to kind of scrap what needed to be scrapped, or was it kind of easy? Like, I'm
It
not too
was
attached
easy.
to these.
Yeah. I just kept replacing them with other songs that I was writing. I just felt like I was just writing, I don't know, in my opinion, like they were just feeling better to me, and I enjoyed singing the newer ones more than the old ones. And the newer ones are what stuck, and those are the ones that I've been playing the most.
Did you feel like, do you feel like you've been on the same kind of trajectory in terms of sound since from the old ones to the newer ones?
That's a good question. I mean, yeah, I think they definitely had their own vibe and energy going, because that was just like a different time of my life. And I think now I've been trying to expand um in the way I write, and experiment with different sounds, and um so it was just I think it was just like a little bit more raw back then, because it was just me and a guitar really, and so I think I was just writing for that, and now I kind of write with more in mind, like more instruments in mind, if that makes sense.
Right, right.
um yeah, so and then but I think they still can be considered a part of the same family. I don't know if that makes sense,
No,
but
no, I'm with you there. I'm with you.
yeah, yeah.
Now, where when you play live now, is it still mainly just you and the guitar solo?
No, I actually play with usually with my friend Gina, who plays bass, and my boyfriend Clay, who plays lead guitar. And it's just like a little trio. I'm like thinking about adding drums eventually, but for now it's just fun, just the three of us.
And are you on acoustic at
Yeah,
this
and
point?
well, I play electric, but I just strum some chords.
That's basically what it is.
Yeah.
That's for every instrument. You just strum
Yeah,
some
just keep it
chords.
simple.
Do you think that you'll eventually play with an electric and a like full kind of band?
I don't think it'll be a big adjustment. I haven't really found um like a drummer that I mean I know a few drummers that I would want to be in my band, but I feel like it just wouldn't work out with like they like live far away, so it just wouldn't work out right now. But I think eventually, yeah, it'll be fairly easy to incorporate it, just because it's already in my music, and you can hear drums and in some of my songs. So I think it'll be a pretty easy transition. But
Right,
yeah.
right. Yeah, with this self-titled album, how did you kind of go about getting these people together to play these songs?
Oh my gosh, it took so long. I mean, it was a huge process. But really it was Zeb, my friend Zeb, who is a he's an amazing musician. And he plays in do you know Little Wings?
Yes.
Kyle Field's project.
Yeah, and there's little wings and there's like regular wings. That's a different
Oh,
thing too, right?
regular Little Wings is his Instagram handle.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, then
And
yes, I
Little
do.
Wings
Yeah, okay.
is
I was like,
the
is it two
actual
different
band name.
things? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so Zeb plays drums in Little Wings, and um yeah, and so Zeb was definitely just like a guiding light again, just um told me I could come record at his home studio and record on his 8-track machine, do it all analog at his house and just yeah, just pieced it together with him. He pretty much guided me through it all, and it was honestly like the best experience ever, and I can't thank him enough for helping me with it. Just because yeah, it
Shout
wouldn't
out to
have
him,
been
man.
the same without him. But yeah, he played drums, he played piano, his brother played bass. I played guitar, Clay came and played. It was all like in a span of like 2 to 3 years, this whole thing. So it took kind of a while, and then yeah, then mixing it is a whole nother beast. So yeah, it wasn't very hard, it just took a long time. Yeah, I'd say, but it all came together pretty naturally and pretty organically, I'd say.
Did the shape of these songs change throughout these 2 to 3 year spans on some of them?
Oh yeah. Oh yes. They changed, yeah, they changed a lot. I think it was really hard for me to hear how everything was going to be put together up until like the mixing part of it. And I mixed it up at Cal Malarkey's spot in County Line Recording Studio, with a huge help from Clay, um, and him, and we just went at it, and yeah, the sound changed so much because it was just all of these like raw files, and then it just came together and became more, and we started adding more things to it once we were mixing it in the studio. And so yeah, it definitely just like flourished from what started just like in my mind, or like just me and the guitar, to like what it is now.
Right.
Yeah.
Did you write the instrumentation for these other, whether it be drums or secondary guitar,
No, it all came together with Zeb and in the mixing process.
at his house? Of course.
Yeah,
Everyone
yeah.
knows where that's going down. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's Ed's house.
yeah. Yeah, exactly.
How did you feel the first time that you heard the 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 final versions of these songs that ended up on the
Yeah,
album?
I was so happy. Yeah, I felt so accomplished. And yeah, I was just excited to get it out into the world, just because it had been such a long time coming. Yeah.
Was it freeing in a sense to like
Oh yeah.
finally let that out?
Yeah, totally. It was definitely freeing. And I think it was freeing in the sense that I felt like I could finally start working on other things. So I could finally start writing new songs and start working on the next thing.
when
So
you when you started writing I mean, maybe you have, maybe you haven't started to write these new
yeah.
songs and ideas, are you incorporating the idea of bringing in other people and other instruments? And I mean, it always start with
Yeah.
singing and your guitar, but are you like making room for other things?
Yeah, I think because I was already I'd already experienced or I was like exposed to incorporating more people already. Now I really have that in mind for the next project. I'm like already hearing drums, already hearing bass, and because I've been playing a lot of the newer songs with my bass player Gina and Clay doing lead guitar, it's just all kind of coming together. There's a few new songs that I've been playing live. So it's been cool to kind of hear the songs already like come to life or coming to life. Yeah.
And as of right now, it's a three piece usually
Three
that's
piece. Yeah.
playing live.
Yeah. Yeah. Just keeping it simple or as simple as I can.
Right, right, right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this album, the first album, it was self-titled,
Yeah.
and that came out in March, right?
Yeah. March 1st. Yeah.
I like how you knew the date. You're like, yeah, it was March
Yeah.
1st.
I have it written down on my calendar and everything.
And so that I mean that was pretty recently that came out as at the time of us recording it. How do you feel now that it's been out for over almost 2 months now?
I feel good. Um, I feel like it's doing well for, being my first album and no one really knowing who I am or anything. I feel like it's definitely, yeah, it's been fun and like it's fun to just hear people like talk about it and get their opinions and hear all the feedback. That's really fun. Um, but yeah, I feel good.
It's good.
Yeah. I'm definitely ready to release new music, but that'll just come with more time.
Right.
Yeah.
Do
Just because
you
all
no,
the
no, no,
other
please, please,
songs
please.
are really old. Like they're from like 2017, 2016. So I was like, okay, I gotta get like the new stuff I've been writing this year. Yeah.
Right, right. Do you pay attention to the feedback of other people?
Um, yeah, I guess I do kind of. I haven't had any like negative feedback or anything like that, but yeah, I feel like yeah, it's been helpful to hear like, especially with like the new song, not really like on the old album, but with like the new songs that I've been playing, it's fun to hear like feedback on those, the ones that I play live and be like, have people like say like, oh, like you should definitely record that one or
And
yeah.
then you obviously go, fuck you, I'll do what I want, right? That's
Yeah,
your
exactly. Yeah. I'm
right,
like, you
right,
know
right.
what? Mm-mm.
Do you feel like these new songs are just carrying on through what you kind of cemented with this quote unquote old album, but it's not old, it's just
Yeah, right, right, right. Um, yeah, I definitely think it's like the next chapter. It's like, chapter two of what was chapter one, which is that album. Definitely has like a similar vibe. Maybe a little bit more playful, not as sad. Um, I love I love like sad music or sad songs. I always like gravitate towards like really heartfelt music, but I've also just been trying to like branch out and do something a little bit more fun too.
when you hear these songs, whether it be the new ones or the old ones, how does it make you feel? Does it make you feel sad when you listen back to these?
No, no, they're just like they just have sad lyrics. um, but they don't really personally make me sad.
Do you listen to a lot of music while you're trying to write your music? Or do
Mm,
you try to stay
that's a,
away
that's
from
another great question.
it's twofer, that's
Um,
good. Personal record.
yeah, it's so funny that you asked that because I feel like sometimes I do. Sometimes I write when I'm listening to music. Um, a lot of songs that I've written, I listen to like a lot of Kevin Morby when I write. It's like the weirdest thing. I don't listen to him a lot, but I used to listen to him quite a bit, and now sometimes if he comes on, for some reason it like sparks songwriting. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is about Kevin Morby, but yeah, yeah, sometimes it does help with songwriting,
Kevin's
listening.
helping out. Was there a specific song that from his catalog that you remember sticking out to you?
Mm, there isn't like a specific song. I think the album Oh My God, that one definitely was one that would like spark songwriting.
That's a good one.
I think a part of why I love his music is because it's just so it kind of just like flows and he's kind of just doing whatever, but it's like still really good. It's just like free, you know? That's how I would describe it. And that's like how I want to be with my music. I just want to be free and have it kind of flow.
When do you feel the most free within your music? What would it be like playing it or recording it or writing it? At what process?
I think writing it.
Writing it.
I think writing it and solidifying a song. Yeah. That's like I think when I just feel like it's all come together and it feels so good.
Is it more contemporary music that you're paying attention to when you're writing or in general?
Mm, yeah, I guess in general, I'd say it's more contemporary. Um, but I still love like the old music, old classics for sure. That's also inspiring too.
We're talking about the classics. We already mentioned Kevin. I mean, that's
Yeah,
classic. Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
What outside of music tends to inspire you?
I guess just like life experiences. Yeah, and like my feelings, my emotions. Um, with like life experiences. That's mainly what I write about is just like stories of my life, little segments. Um, yeah.
Is it easier to write telling a story than it is to just pull from different things and just have a song not revolving around telling a
Yeah, I think it's actually easier for me to write or to mm, make a song just based on like things I've just jotted down on pieces of paper rather than I have a hard time actually creating a story with music. Unless it's like really personal, then it's really easy. But yeah, I don't know how people do it. I don't know how people, you know, are able to create stories within their songwriting.
how does Kevin do it?
I don't
I don't
know.
know
I
if I'll
don't
ever know.
know. How does like anyone do it? Like, I don't know. I don't know. I really don't. Yeah.
Was there a theme to this album?
Um, Not really. I definitely knew I wanted to um have a part of my background in it. So I wanted to have a Spanish song, like the song Pienso en Ti. That was really important for me to have that in it, just to show my background and show that I come from this like Mexican culture, Mexican background. And yeah, but I don't think there was really a theme to it. It kind of just was pieced together with different songs. Um, Definitely just all from the heart. If there had to be a theme, I would say it was just from the heart, songs from the heart.
It's a good theme.
Yeah.
Was that did the Spanish song, was that the second song in the
Yeah.
on the did you
Mhm.
pay attention to the track listing and where stuff was placed?
Yeah, yeah. Every song that on that album was placed in order that I chose specifically. Yeah. That definitely had to be either number one or number two. But I think I Like Myself Again was definitely a good intro to the album because has personally it has like a lot more energy with it, but so does Pienso en Ti. So I don't know. They both have similar energy. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know why I didn't put Pienso en Ti first. Now thinking about it.
There's gonna be a
You're
revised
making me second
version.
second guess myself.
Do you feel like this album really showcased like, hey, this is what I'm trying to do with my music. This is what I want it to sound like, and this is it?
Yes and no. I honestly just wanted to put something out there because I, I'm trying to pursue music and I want to play gigs, and I had nothing to show for myself online at all. So I was just like, I have these songs, I need to get them out, and I need people to listen to them. Otherwise, they're just going to live, inside my head or when I play live. But, I don't know. Yeah, I definitely feel like I just needed to just get them out there into the world. Yeah.
The songs that have been changed over the course of a a few years that since they've been originally written, if you were able to show yourself what these songs would eventually come to be, the finalized version of them, do you think that you'd be attracted to them? Like, oh, hey, this is what I need to be going for.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, definitely. I feel like I'm very attracted to songs that like really make you feel something. And I think, yeah, if I were looking back, I would definitely be drawn to this album.
Did you put it out in March for a reason, or was it?
I just needed to get it out. There's no reason. I was like, it was gonna come out. When was it? Valentine's Day. I wanted it to be out Valentine's Day. It didn't work out. Um, it's like, logistic stuff. I couldn't get it out on time. But there's no reason for March 1st.
There
Yeah.
will be though. The next time it'll be out by
Yeah.
Valentine's Day. Yeah,
Right. Right.
on the 14th.
Yeah, I wanted it originally to be like a self-love album or self-love theme because I guess that's also maybe a theme. It's just
So
like
there
an
was a theme.
underlying
So
theme
the
of
other the
self-love.
the other answer of that was a lie. You were lying to me.
Yeah,
There
I was
was a
lying.
theme.
Sorry.
Okay, I see.
Yeah. Yeah, so there was definitely like an underlying theme of like self-love, and yeah, I wanted to get it out on February 14th, but it didn't work. It didn't happen. Oh well.
That's okay.
Next
They're out
time.
now. They're out
Yeah,
now.
exactly. Yeah.
If people can go listen to it right now, right after this.
Yeah.
Um, do you hear these songs differently now that it's been out? Now that you've been exposed to like, okay, this is the final version of this. Do you view it differently now that it's been? I mean, it's only again up
Yeah.
for almost 2 months now.
I try not to listen to them just because I feel like I got so sick of them after hearing them so much. Um, but yeah, I think they definitely they definitely changed a lot throughout the whole process. And I'm really proud of the songs, and I'm, proud of myself for just like doing it. And yeah, I'm honestly just more excited to put out some new stuff. I feel like that's normal though with, musicians. I just want to like get something new out.
Right. Out with the old, in with the new.
Exactly. Yeah, because yeah, they're just like a piece of me that has already left. It's already
it's come and gone.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. Yeah.
Were you able to play all of these songs that were on the album live before putting them out?
Oh yeah. Yeah. All of those songs I was just playing all the time, along with like new ones, but yeah, some of them I like really don't play anymore. Um, like Noon Blue, I don't really play. Held is a hard one to play. Um, but yeah, all of the other songs I play every set, and I was able to play them before putting them on the album.
Good deal. I
Yeah.
like that answer.
Yeah.
What do you want people to take away from your music?
Mm, let's see. I guess I just want people to listen to my music and maybe feel like they can relate, or they can, just yeah, relate to the lyrics and feel like they're not alone in those feelings. Um, yeah, so I just want to like connect with people through music and have them, yeah, not feel so alone in those emotions and those feelings. Yeah.
Do you feel like the the uh, if you're writing about something like as you say you're kind of writing about your experiences and yourself, do you feel like you kind of have to taper it a little bit, like to not have it so personal that somebody could relate to it?
Um, I feel like for the most part, I keep it pretty raw and real. Um, I'm kind of like an open book, so I don't really care if, people know what I'm going through. Just because like, we're all human. We all have emotions, we all have feelings. Yeah, so I don't really try to like, tamper with it too much.
What was your writing process like for these newer songs that you weren't sitting on for so long? Did it change from what these older songs were to some of the newer ones, or was it kind of the same process?
Starting to write songs like in my mid-20s, or starting to write songs like way back in the day?
Since your mid 20s,
Okay, okay.
since the restaurant gig.
Yeah. Yeah, it's all been the same. The writing process is it's just like me writing out. It's like a journal entry basically. But more trying to put more focus on making it more like poetry, I guess. And I think it's definitely stayed the same up until now. Other than like now, like I keep in mind that there's gonna be more to it, but definitely just starting out with that foundation of writing out lyrics that go together. Sometimes they go together, sometimes they don't go together, and then I piece them together. And they end up going together. I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah, it's kind of just like a free flow of lyrics and words that I put together, and then I add, like, after, I'll like forget about writing it and then come back to it, and then when I feel like I want to create melodies with my guitar, then I'll come back to those and to the writings, and create a song, or try at least. Yeah.
Were there some songs or some ideas that didn't make it on to the first album that will be on the
Yeah.
second one that were written in within the same time frame?
Yes. Yeah, there's actually one song called Past Life that I play a lot live, that didn't make it. It was recorded and supposed to be on this album. There's supposed to be 8 songs, not 7, and it didn't make it. I just have to re-record it. But yeah, it's definitely gonna be in the same line of energy as the last album.
And do you feel like that will be like the transfer over to like the newer stuff? That's the borderline of like, okay, now we're into this.
Exactly. Yeah. And there's some
Gotcha.
songs that go more with, past life. And then there's this other song, Southern Land, more upbeat. So it kind of goes with the newer songs that I've been writing that are a little bit more upbeat and fun to play. Yeah.
Do you tend to kind of get ideas of how to take certain songs in another direction or to change them while playing them live?
No. No, once I play them live, they're already set in stone. I mean, maybe that will happen soon because I will be writing new songs, and I've only been playing with Clay and Gina for only like half a year, I think,
Wow.
or yeah. So I think that maybe that will change when I play with Gina and she comes up with a new bass line, or Clay comes up with a new idea or whatever. But for the most part, I think I already have it kind of set in stone, like how I want the song to go once
Gotcha.
it's played live.
Was the were Clay and Gina on like the same wavelength as you in terms of like, hey, this is what I want to do today? Immediately like we got it.
It's like they were sent to me from heaven. They're, yeah, they're just so fun to play with, and they totally get where I'm coming from. They're both insane musicians, and yeah, I could not ask for a better bandmates, and also just like really good friends. Yeah, it was seriously just like it feels so meant to be. And we have so much fun, and I think that's the most important part, is we're just having fun.
Going back to the start, yeah, having
Yeah,
fun,
exactly. Full circle.
being free with it.
Yeah.
Is it is writing the most difficult part of being a musician for you?
Mm, yeah, I guess so. I guess writing is the most difficult part of it. I mean, there's other hard parts of it. Like performing is hard too, and like making sure we nail the songs, no mistakes. But I think I mean, right after I released this album, I seriously didn't write for like a few months, and I just wasn't feeling inspired anymore. It's hard to like ignite that inspiration again, um when you're just not feeling it or whatever. But yeah, I think it just comes and goes in waves, the inspiration and like the motivation to do it. And that's really hard to deal with because you might like, I want to write and I want to make music, and I listen to all this beautiful music and I'm like, why can't I do that? And I'm just not feeling it, and that's really frustrating. But I have to just like remind myself that, I'm not like a robot that just like writes music all the time. So I'm human, and there's seasons to it, and yeah, it'll come back, and not just not gonna write. It's just a part of who I am. So gotta trust that.
Is it crucial to take a step back every once in a while to
Definitely.
recharge or
Yeah,
look?
definitely. Yeah, for sure. And I think I forgot that. Just because it was like I got a crazy wave of, I was writing like every single day, all day, for like months, or like a year, maybe 2 years, like every day, I swear, and like playing music every day. And now I don't do that. So I'm like, what's wrong with me, sort of deal. But yeah, I think that I have to just like remember that, you know, it's gonna come back. Hopefully.
Do you ever write with other people, or is it just a solo thing?
Yeah, solo, totally solo. Yeah, I don't know how I would be able to do that. Maybe I've never tried it. Um, but yeah, I think a lot of the songs are just like for me. Actually, that's a lie. I've definitely written with other
Second
people.
lie of the podcast. Oh my
There's
gosh.
one
Okay.
song that we wrote for fun. In Mexico, it just kind of happened. We were on a trip with my friends in Baja, and a few of us girls just like wrote Southern Land. So that one I can't take full credit for. That one was like a communal blend of lyrics.
Song church style.
Yeah, exactly. But that's the only one that was like for fun, and then now I just play it because it's a fun song to play. But I haven't written with other people since. And that was like years ago.
Would it be easier to write with other people if it was within that loose sense
Yeah.
of hey, it's just a fun
Yeah.
song?
Yeah, I guess so. I guess if it was just like, let's make a song, and it wasn't like we're in the studio like writing or like it's forced, then I think that just like defeats the purpose personally. And I know lots of people do that, and I think that's great. I just don't think I can do it.
Where do you tend to write?
Mostly just like at home. Sometimes like in the car, it's like when that part of your brain gets turned off and you're just kind of like auto mode, and then like I feel like things start flowing in that way. It's like a weird, really weird like meditative part of the brain. I don't know how it works, but yeah, sometimes in the car I'll like, jot down some notes. Not the safest, but sometimes at work, weirdly, I don't know. But mostly just like at home.
Are
Yeah.
you kind of away from instruments at that point in
Yeah.
the car?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't write with the guitar.
Oh,
Yeah, I just write, and then I step away from the lyrics, and then I come back to them with the guitar. Yeah,
interesting.
I've never been able to like I think sometimes I can. It really takes like a special moment to do that, but like 90% of the time it's write first, then come back to them.
Is there an idea that you just shelved for a bit now, just waiting for it to be fit into somewhere that it'll work?
Um, let's see. I guess, yeah, there's like I have a few ideas up my sleeve with songs, but yeah, I'm excited to share. I'm excited to share like this new energy. I feel like it'll just be new, and it'll be more recent. They won't be so old. Um, Maybe more relatable to the now.
Relatable to the now. Well, hey, I'm really looking forward to. I really dug the first album. The first album is getting out now, right?
Yes, yes. First
And
album's out now.
right now it's self-titled.
Self-titled,
Now,
yeah.
real quick, this is the last question here. Did you think about calling it something else, or was it always the plan was to be like, okay, we're just gonna put it
Yeah,
out?
yeah. It was always just, yeah, I wanted it to be self-titled, the first album. Next album, there'll be some changes, I think, but yeah.
Nydia Gonzalez Part Two.
Yeah, Nydia Gonzalez, volume two.
Volume two. Okay, I'm sorry. I heard that it was gonna be called Part Two, or that was at least an
Yeah,
idea. Okay.
yeah. Yeah, misinformation.
Nydia, thank you so much
Yeah,
for coming on again. The self-titled album is out now, streaming everywhere, wherever people get their
everywhere.
music,
Yeah, yeah. I just put it on Bandcamp, so now it's on Bandcamp too.
and that's where people go and support you directly, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That's the best place.
Yes. Yes.
NydiaGonzalez.bandcamp.com. That's the best place to go and buy it, right? To
Yes.
support for the volume 2, which is coming out soon, shortly.
Exactly.
New stuff. And everybody can stay up to date with news and shows and all that good stuff by following you on
Yeah,
Instagram, right?
exactly. Yeah, I have a few shows coming up, so definitely stay tuned.
Good deal. And that's at Nydia Gonzo.
Yeah, Nydia Gonzo. Yep.
Hunter S. Thompson style. I like it. Nydia, thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate it. And the
Sure.
album's out now, self-titled album. Go and get it. Right?
Yep. Go get
Awesome. You're
it.
awesome. Thank you so
All
much,
right.
Nydia.
Thank
And
you.
I'm gonna stop recording this. I'll talk to you in a minute. All right.
Cool.
Okay, cool. Thank you.